Welcome to our first build guide. For our newly launched channel, we present you our first how to build your PC episode.
We will be building a small form factor PC for daily users and casual gaming purposes.
At the end of this video, we will be also selling this config as well, so stay tuned and check it out. For this config, we'll be having the Corsair Obsidian 250D, a small form factor case with a good range of options for fan mounts and cables management. If you have a limitation in space in your room, the 250D will be a very good choice. For the CPU, we choose the quad-core i5-4690H12 refresh with speed of 3.5 GHz and up to 3.9 GHz in turbo boost, as this build is mainly for the mainstream user like daily home entertainment and some mid-end gaming. And also, it added lower cost compared to the i7 series. With ASRock Z97E RTX motherboard, it is one of the few lower costing motherboard with compatibility of 4th and 5th gen I-core, and also massive of great durability components with lifespan of at least 12,000 hours. And features like online management card that you can authorize a curfew on your internet connection. It also comes with the latest M.2 SSD controller with speeds up to 10 GB per second as well. For RAMs, we got the Crucial Ballistic 8GB RAM kit with speed at 1600 MHz, mainly for the mainstream user as this config isn't going with the high-end speed grade. The Ballistic is just nice for your daily users and gaming requirements. To power up this baby, we got the CX500M semi-modular power supply by Corsair with a good range of 500 watts that could power up the NVIDIA GTX 760 series graphic card. And with the 80 plus bronze certified, the actual power usage will be at least 80% efficiency. For storage, we had the WD 1TB Blue series hard disk. As this config isn't going into the speed grade, the WD Blue series will be enough for the job of daily media and game storage, as also lower cost compared to SSD. For this config, we are not going to add in an optical DVD drive, as nowadays there is a lesser need or use in this media, as you can set up almost everything by downloading the software from the internet as well. And mainly in the digital age, this is becoming to be a lesser form of media. In this video, we'll be testing out two graphic cards over here. The NVIDIA GTX 470, a 3 generation older graphic card. For a comparison with the current gen, the nearest is the GTX 750 Ti. On the other side, the GTX 760 that is coming to be the last generation, as this year the 800 series might be released. To mainly show you the range of graphic cards with the difference and the idea of mainly how long a GPU can last. The tools needed for this build is rather simple. First, you will need some screwdriver set. Well, of course, you don't really need a professional one, just a simple one will do. It is recommended to work under an anti-static environment while building. If you are in an aircon room, you're gonna need the anti-static strap like this. Something cheap will do the job. And you might need something to keep all your screws in place. It sucks if one of the screws went missing and all, so I would recommend using a magnetic tray like this, which you can just get one from Daiso, and it's cheap. It's just $2. The motherboard boxes will come in handy here as well. If you are worried about breaking your motherboard when installing, you should use the box for installing components on the board itself. Let's start by taking the things you need with the motherboard. You will need the menu, the SATA cable, the I/O shoe, and then motherboard itself. Let's keep the other things into the box for now. First, take out the motherboard from the back now. Be careful how you hold the board to play safe by holding on the package or the back plate with the side, which is the I/O port portion, and place it on the box. Starting on with the CPU, unbox the processor. Be careful when taking out from the package. You wouldn't want something to drop on your motherboard, isn't it? Unhook the protection lever by pressing it down. Open up the package for the processor. First, locate the arrow on the CPU itself with the arrow on the motherboard or the protection cap. Place the CPU well and give it a little wiggle to ensure it's secured. Now, close out the socket caps, lock the lever, and the protection cap should pop up by its own. Next is the RAM installation. Notice the gap placement on the pin. Press the catch on the side of the RAM slot and align the gap with the slot well. After slotting in the RAM, simply press down the RAM with 2 fingers or both hands, after which you will hear a tick sound to ensure the RAM has been locked. Next, pull out your stock fan and you'll notice there is 4 pins on the fan body, and take a look on the 4 holes around the CPU on the motherboard. Align with it, and when you are done, press down the lock with minimal strength. You will hear a tick sound as well for locking. If you are unsure if it's locked, turn back your motherboard, you will see a black pin penetrating out in the middle of the white pin. And if you need to realign the stock fan like what I did back there, because the fan header couldn't reach the port, just turn around and pull the lock out. After you are done with the alignment, remember to turn back the lock and press it down. And then grab the fan pin and pin it into the CPU fan header. Take note of the gap that is the front of the header when installing the pin, and apply a little bit of strength to pin down, but not too hard, you might break the pin. Before getting all excited and went on ahead to install your motherboard into your case, I recommend you to test out your component. You wouldn't want to take out your component one by one again, only to find out that one of the components is dead on arrival after you installed everything. Plug in your power supply using the 24 and 8 pin, and you will need a monitor as well. Plug in the screen using the motherboard display port. You might need your keyboard and mouse for simple operation. Find and grab your house key. Yes, a key or something that is metallic. You will need it to jumpstart the system by touching the power pin on the front panel ports. If you are unsure which one, you can refer to the motherboard menu as well. And it should work. Yay! But how do you turn off the system? By jumpstart the power pin again as well. No worries. And now you are all set and getting ready for the next step by preparing your PC case. Start by unscrewing and removing all the panels and all other panels you need for installation. After you are done, place your panel in a safe place or inside the boxes to prevent damage or scratches. Untie everything to make yourself as much space. As for the mounting screw, you needn't to worry about it because it comes packaged with the case itself. All the needed screws are inside the box here, from cable ties, drive mouse to motherboard screw. Remember to keep them safe. And that's where the magnetic tray comes in handy. Before installation, it is recommended to plan out the airflow, as airflow is one of the critical factors that will affect the system performance and lifespan. So in this case, we will be sticking to what Corsair had offered, which is the 140mm fan as the main air intake from the front. And the side mounting fan will be the one ventilating the air out. You could add more fans or water cooling system inside this case as well, depending on what you're planning to run inside your PC. First is the I/O shoe. Pop out the area for the antenna and start by aligning the shoe to the case and make sure it's lined up correctly with the motherboard interface. Push the 4 corners in and make sure it's secured. Grab the motherboard by holding onto the stock fan first. Slowly put the motherboard into the case and align it to the 4 motherboard standoff. Be careful as you align it with the I/O shoe. There are pins holding off the I/O ports. Grab a few of the motherboard screws, which is the bigger ones, and start mounting the board to the case. Beware not to screw it too tight, just hand tight will do. As for the power supply, we will be installing it with the fan facing downwards. As the motherboard is right on top of the power supply area, the hot air will get into the motherboard to make it hotter if you mount the fan facing up. Place and align the panel to the power supply and mount it using the same screw as the motherboard. After you are done, install the power supply from behind the case by pushing in the cable first and grab the cable from the other side as well, and mount back the 2 thumb screw holding up the panel. At this point, you might want to clear off the cables inside to make space. Grab the 24 and 8 pin cables. First, we will start by plugging in the 8 pin. Take note on the catch in front of the 8 pin port. A little force might be needed. Next is the 24 pin. Same as how you plug in the 8 pin port, but the 24 pin is usually harder to plug into the motherboard. Be careful how much strength you apply, you might break the board. To ensure the catch is able to fit in the port itself. Flowing is over the pin header. The label on top indicates the correct port for the pin itself. Like batteries, there's a plus and minus for each pin. Flick back and there's an arrow behind that indicates the plus on each pin. Locate the port correctly for each pin or refer to the motherboard menu. You can also refer to the label on the motherboard as well. For the USB 3.0 and HD audio header, the installation is the same as the previous pin. Locate the right port for it, align it well and plug it in. As for the HD audio on this motherboard, which is located behind the idle ports, refer to the menu if you are using different motherboard. For this motherboard, there's only 2 fan header and one has been used for the CPU stock fan. You'll need to get one fan splitter like this in this case, and plug in the 2 fan header into the splitter. If you need more space for installation, you can do it by unscrewing the optical drive. At this stage, you should start thinking about the cable management as well. Having a good cable management will provide more better airflow to the case itself. Grab some cable ties provided along with the case and you can tie it around the case. The case itself do have a lot of mouth for the cable tie as well. You need not worry about having no way to sort out the cable for management. Next is the hard disk installation. The thing you need for this is the SATA power from the power supply and the SATA cable from the motherboard. Open up the hard disk first. Start by plugging in the SATA cable and SATA power ports. The longer slot is for the SATA power. Grab one of the 3.5-inch bay. No tool is needed here and you just need to flip the bay open. Feed and slot in the hard disk to the bay. And now you can insert the hard disk to the hard disk slot. Plug in the SATA cable to the motherboard. If this is the only SATA connection you will be using, it's better to plug it in to the SATA 0 port. Next, grab the 6-pin of the SATA power cable and plug it into the peripheral ports on the power supply. And now is the graphic card installation. First, remove the thumb screw holding on to the panel. Remove the PCIe guard on the panel itself by leaving out the mount. You can also remove the mount itself by unhooking the clip on the mount for convenience. Grab your graphic card next. Be careful not to touch the PCB area. Align it well to the panel and motherboard PCIe slot correctly. After the graphic card is aligned correctly, push down the graphic card using 2 hands to fit in the PCIe slot and lock the graphic card. After you are done securing the graphic card, place back the mount and hand tighten the thumb screw as well. For the power to the graphic card, you need the 6 plus 2 pin power cable. The installation is the same as the 24 and 8 pin power ports, depending on the card itself, but for the GTX 470, you will need 2 6-pin power here. We are almost done here and only one step away from putting out the baby over here. As we mentioned before, we didn't plan for a DVD drive for this config, but for this video, we will be going through one as well. Installing the DVD drive will be pretty much the same as installing the hard drive. Start off by unhooking the front panel for the drive bay. Insert the drive from the front and lock the device. Lastly is all the cable works left, which is the SATA power and the SATA cable. And now we are finally done with all the hard work and now you can fire up the baby with all the games sitting on your table. Right after you install the Windows OS, either through this installation or USB bootable setup. For the rest of the video, I will be leaving it to SIJIE for some great game testing. So let's get started.
For the game testing side, we'll be testing 2 types of different cards. One is the 470 GTX and the other one is the 760 GTX. And this will give you a general rough guide of how the quality is and what are the differences in the generation. One is the 400 series and the other one is the 700 series. And also the 470 GTX is comparable to a current generation, the 700 series, the 750 ITX version of the graphics card. And throughout the whole thing, at the end, it will give you the comparison charts of the CPU and GPU temperatures and usage, and also the FPS of the game that we will be testing on, which will be Battlefield 4 and Need for Speed Rivals. So let's get to it.
It's just invaded China.
We ain't using that right out.
Any alternatives?
No. Stay alert, stay alive.
We're good. Close the door.
Wrong floor!
I think we just invaded China.
We ain't using that right out.
Any alternatives?
No. Stay alert, stay alive.
We're good. Go!
Moving along Eastwood Rise, rolling to apprehend.
10-4, attempt to apprehend all suspects before race concludes.
Just close the door.
Wrong floor!
I think we just invaded China.
We ain't using that right out.
Any alternatives?
No. Stay alert, stay alive.
We're good. Go! That's it. Fucking give it to him, Record. Side door. Storage room looks clear. Watch my sticks, I'm moving. Watch the balcony.
Starting out.
You gotta watch out.
Thank you for watching our first episode of how to build your own PC. For more inquiries and details of how you can get the config from us, do check the link down below the description box. And also, tell us, will you prefer to build your own PC config or will you buy over those pre-built PC?
Additionally, on the side note, our first customer for this config will get the MSI 470 GTX for free. Although it's not a brand new card, it's a pre-owned card, well, it still qualifies you for your daily usage and also entry-level gaming. And as always, if you like our video, give it a thumbs up, comment and share, and also subscribe to us if you want to see more videos like this.